Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here on another Friday morning or afternoon, depending on where you're calling in from. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Cheryl Martinez. I am the STEM program manager with Growth Sector, who's the backbone organization who is supporting the program that you all participate in on your campuses, whether it's called the STEM Core program or OMG, or Bridge to Engineering, same program. STEM Core is the umbrella term or name that we use. So we're so excited for you all to be here. Obviously, we've been doing our virtual employer series on a weekly basis throughout the entire fall. And we're excited to sort of wrap up the series with our guest today from Kiewit. Kiewit has been a partner with the STEM Core over the last several years, taking on interns across the country. And we're lucky enough today that we do actually have a previous STEM Core student, previous intern, who's come back to talk to you a little bit about their experience as well. So we have a really good I think presentation set up for you and lots of good information today. So if you haven't already, please be sure to mute yourself during our presentation today. You'll have the opportunity to, we'll have about 10 minutes at the end where you'll be able to unmute yourself and ask questions directly to our presenters. However, if questions come up for you during today's conversation, you can feel free to put it in the chat and we will be sure to get to your question at some point during the presentation. Okay, so without further ado, I will turn things over to our presenters, Tessa and Nancy.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. And like Cheryl said, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time, especially on a Friday. We know that this is a busy time given school schedules, class schedules, the holidays. So we really appreciate it. And we're super excited to be here. With that being said, I am going to go ahead and dive right in. So a little bit about me. So my name is Tessa Robinson. I am one of our talent acquisition advisors on our university recruiting team here at Kiewit. I am based in our Southern California district office. So it's just out, I guess it's in LA County, Santa Fe Springs. And so I have been with Kiewit for about 2 years now, have had the opportunity to spend some time in Northern California. I've had some opportunity to spend some time in Southern California. So it's been really fun getting the chance to work with both of those different districts within Kiewit, learn and meet so many cool people along the way. But a little bit about my life prior to Kiewit. I started at Cal Poly SLO in 2016, and I graduated from there in 2020. Cal Poly and San Luis Obispo are places that I hold super near and dear to my heart. So had an awesome 4 years there. I like to get back there whenever I can. I get the chance in my role here at Kiewit as a talent acquisition advisor to meet some really awesome people such as yourselves on calls like this in info sessions. And so these photos are just a couple of the super cool things that I've gotten the chance to do along the way. My job includes job site tours and getting to go meet some of our operations managers and our field engineers up in Northern California, Southern California. I've gotten to visit some of our hubs across the United States. So that's Houston, Lenexa, Denver, Omaha, have met some really awesome people, and I get to travel a lot, which is something that I love. And so it's been a really fun ride, a really awesome 2 years. And I'm happy to be here to share it with all of you. And so with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Nancy so she can quickly introduce herself as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nancy. I'm originally from Lebanon, and I immigrated to the United States back in 2014. And I've been with Kiewit for almost 2 years, like a year and a half, and it's been great so far. So a little bit about my background. I went to Ohlone College. I was part of the STEM program, OMG, and I was also part of SWE, which is Society of Women Engineering Club. I served for 1 full term as a treasury, and it was a great experience. And I also, prior to my internship with Kiewit, I used to work at Amazon. And I also worked at a biotech lab performance. It was like an internship for a technical mechanic position. And during my spare time, I really enjoy like hiking and skateboarding. And then recently I've tried to pick up playing the guitar. And I'm really happy to be here and share my experience with you today.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, like I said, we are really just here to give you guys kind of a peek behind the curtain as to who Kiewit is, what the company is all about, and some of the really cool things that we have had the opportunity to experience ourselves. So for those of you that don't know, Kiewit is actually headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. It's one of the largest construction and engineering organizations across North America now. What I think is so cool about it is it basically started out as the brainchild of two brothers, started out as a family organization. It's grown to the massive size that it is now, but we still really, really hold and value those family values. So it's something that you feel in our culture, that you'll feel throughout our company, regardless of which location you're in. We have had the opportunity to build some really, really top quality projects across North America. We get the chance to make an impact on our clients. We get the chance to impact our communities. And a lot of the times we're moving to locations that these projects might be, or we might be lucky enough to already be in that location. So we really get to build up our own backyards as well. We operate our business a little bit differently than some other construction and engineering organizations might, and that's really due to the size and scope of the work that we do. So we operate in districts. So we have about 30 districts under the Kiewit umbrella. It's really important to us that in an organization as big as Kiewit is, that our employees don't feel like a number. So our structure allows employees to not be one of 20,000, but really be one in and amongst 200 other employees. And you kind of have that smaller company feel in a bigger company with the resources of a larger company as well. So to kind of sum up everything that I just touched on, this on a slide is just who Kiewit is as a company. In 2021, we recorded over $12.1 billion in revenue, which I'm sure is something that those two brothers, those Kiewit brothers that I told you about, were probably not anticipating back in 1884 when they started this organization. We get to work on some of the largest and most significant projects in North America. And as a Kiewit employee, you get the opportunity to be involved in that. You'll hear the word opportunity a lot in this presentation, and it's something that I want you guys to take away from this as well. You get a lot of opportunity, you get a lot of responsibility. So not only do you get the chance to work on some pretty cool projects, but you get to improve and grow on your professional career and your professional path as well. You're empowered to make your own career decisions. We always tell our employees to just ask. Worst thing that happens is somebody's going to say no, but that should never hold you back from asking. So there's tons of opportunities for personal and professional growth in this organization. We're very, very team oriented. You'll feel that in our culture. We take care of our people. We hold ourselves to a really high standard, and we hold each other to a really high standard as well. All right, projects with purpose. So like I kind of hinted at, we get the chance to work on some really, really huge projects. We are one of the industry's leaders, and so we get to work on some what I would consider to be iconic projects that impact millions of lives every single day. I kind of hinted at the fact that we work across 7 different markets in the construction industry. So because of the size and scope of the work that we do, this means and all but ensures a lot of stability for our company and for our employees as well. We really want our people, our employees, to feel accomplished in the work that we do. We want our work to matter. And so we work on projects that do impact the communities. We work on projects that impact and further our employees' careers as well. And we really just aim to leave that legacy, to leave that stamp in the community, to get involved in the community while we're there, and really be a big part of the success of the community that we have the privilege of building up along the way. Now, building the best. This is personally one of my favorite slides that I'll be showing you guys here today, because I love that building the best mentality. So it's definitely twofold at Kiewit. We get to build the best projects. We also get to build the best people. So like I said, we have a really high reputation for success. We hold ourselves and our employees to high standards, really a standard of excellence. So you get the chance to be a part of a really high performing team here at Kiewit. Our people are driven by a spirit of continuous improvement. We take care of each other. We have lots of resources, lots of tools to build our people up, to make them the best in their career. We hire for a career. We don't hire for jobs. We really want people who see themselves in construction and are really excited to be here for the long haul. We have so many resources to be able to make that happen. One of the ones that I really do want to highlight is our Kiewit University. So we have 2 training centers that Kiewit has built up. We have one in Aurora, Colorado, and one in Omaha, Nebraska. And these are our training facilities. And so we call them Kiewit University. We have the opportunity to send people from all aspects and in different points of their career to these training centers to get hands-on or in the classroom training in a variety of different areas. So it could be a technical skill, like let's say welding. It could be a management course. So you have the opportunity to always foster that education, always grow, and do that even outside of your day-to-day. So we have had the opportunity to send field engineers out to Kiewit University. We actually just had somebody in my office. She went out to Kiewit University in Aurora, Colorado. She came back and she had welded my name for me onto a sheet of metal, and she'd never welded in her life. And so it's really cool opportunities and experiences that you get to have in these training centers that you then bring back to your teams, to your offices, to your projects. So it's something that, you know, we're really proud of. All right, opportunity and adventure. See, I told you you'd hear that word opportunity a lot. So we want to give employees the opportunities to grow through new projects and new positions. So at Kiewit, we really do want to promote internally and give people the opportunity to take on more responsibility, to lead teams, to use the knowledge that other people have shared with them to train and lead the next generation of engineers. And so we want our engineers, our business people, our safety specialists, our HR folks, we want them to gain new experiences and stretch their skills. So we really do think of this opportunity at Kiewit as kind of the adventure of a lifetime. You might have the chance to go live in different states. You might even have the chance to go live in a different country. You have the opportunity to take on responsibility really early on in your career and kind of dive in and own your career. You have some autonomy over your career and your training program and your own development, which is something we always encourage our employees to really grasp and be excited about. All right. So Kiewit's work, like I think I've said a couple of times, it extends across 7 different markets across the construction industry. So these are those 7 markets. We operate in a district structure. So our districts are based off of a couple of things. Some of them are really influenced by geographic location. Some of them are really influenced based off of the type of work that they do. And then for some, it's a combination of both. So for our Northern California district, for example, their bread and butter is really transportation and water. They do a lot of projects in transportation and water. Sometimes they have the occasional project in power offer. And so that's not to say that, they're limited to only those two markets, but that's really their bread and butter and what they do well. And so for our building group, for example, we have our Kiewit building group. They are our vertical arm of construction here at Kiewit, and they get the opportunity to do all things vertical building. So everything from hospitals to parking structures to schools to music and sports facilities, they get to work on that work. Because there are only vertical arm here at Kiewit, that work could be anywhere. Whereas for our Northern California district, that's a little bit more specialized to the Northern California geographic area. So it kind of depends on which district you might be looking into or what projects you want to work on. And that's kind of how we can pair employees that are already in our company and new employees that are coming into the organization with the right spot for them. This allows us to really, really have a large scope of work and work on a lot of different projects. Of course, all of the markets at the top are also supported by our engineering and design groups. So we actually have in-house designers and an in-house design team here at Kiewit that's headquartered in Denver, Colorado. And so we do design builds and we get to rely on and work with the designers of the projects, which is a really cool opportunity as well, because it's a little bit different when you can just jump on Teams and shoot them a quick message and, communicate that way too. So in addition to all of the different districts that we have here at Kiewit, we also have a handful of Kiewit subsidiaries. So it's a big part of the way that we operate our business. A subsidiary is simply just another name for a company. So all of these companies or logos that you see here on the screen, they were independent companies prior to Kiewit acquiring them. They do not have the Kiewit name, but they are very, very much a part of the Kiewit family. So you will see these logos. They maintain their logo, they maintain their branding and their colors. They don't rep the Kiewit black and yellow, but they are still very much part of the Kiewit family. The reason why they're able to maintain their name is because they have such an awesome reputation. They have strong roots and a really good backbone and a really good reputation. So we don't feel like they have to acquire the Kiewit branding because they are industry leaders in their own right as well. So for those of you that don't know just a little bit about some of these different subsidiaries. So we have Mass Electric, which is one of the nation's premier electrical contractors. So it's really nice for our field engineers to be able to lean on engineers, electrical engineers who are working with Kiewit for Kiewit that are under the Mass Electric district. We have TIC, which is the industrial company. We have a handful of TIC districts here at Kiewit, but they provide services for industrial projects. And that's everything from power to energy, mining, and even the marine markets too. So they've been around since 1974. They are an awesome organization and one that we're really proud to have under the Kiewit name as well. All right. So this is our field office engineer role. Is one of the roles that we're going to highlight here today. We'll talk about a couple of the other openings and positions that we do have, but this is the big one. And so our field and office engineers are essential and super critical to running successful operations on our Kiewit projects. They support administrative, construction activities. They have field responsibilities and office responsibilities, as you can tell by the name. They review proposals, specifications, drawings. They might perform some material takeoffs. They work with vendors. They do quality and safety checks. So they're really, really crucial to the work that we do here at Kiewit. And the way that this position works, an engineer might come into the organization and they might be assigned as a field engineer, they might be assigned as an estimator. And so you have the opportunity to explore both of those different avenues, take what you learn in one and take it to the other. So everybody that starts in estimating will eventually be in the field, and everybody that's in the field will eventually be in estimating, and it's shared knowledge and resources, and a really cool opportunity to be able to develop your skills in the field because of what you learned in estimating, and vice versa. All right. So this is a nice visual of a day in the life of a field engineer. But one thing that I really want to say is there is no standard day. Every day in construction looks a little bit different. But this is a good outline of what it could potentially look like and the common themes that you'll see through the day in the life of a field engineer. So we do have, as you'll see on this timeline, we do have early mornings. We do start with the crews. And so we have that foreman's meeting by 7 a.m. We're at stretch and flex with the crews. So it's an early start. We get a lot done before even 8 a.m. And so by 8 a.m. we're working into planning. We'll check in with the crews around lunchtime, have that play of the day meeting, or POD as you'll see it on here. Spend some time in the field, and then that daily wrap up. So it is a longer day. We do work longer hours being in construction. But this is a really good outline of kind of what the answer is to that common question that we get. What is a day in the life of a field engineer? This is a really good visual for that. But even better than this visual, I'm gonna shoot it over to Nancy and have her give a little bit of insight on her opportunity as an intern with our Northern California district. And she'll be able to paint this picture even better for you guys.
Hey everyone, as you can see, I've got so many pictures, but before I go into the pictures, I'm going to talk about the positions that I have on here. So when I first started, I was working as a project management intern, and it was at San Jose, the Headworks 3. The project was mainly building new structures for the wastewater plant. And it was really interesting to know how it all works and how sewage goes from sewage to clean water that we get to use for car washes and firefighters, not really for drinking. And during my time there as a project management intern, it was more of an office position at first. So what I did is I did a lot of pricing. I extra worksheet tags. Mainly on the field, they will be working on the site, and they would find something that was not really originally in the contracts. Like for example, there's an existing pipe that is not in the drawings, and now we have to get it out of the way. So basically, we just do an extra worksheet tags, and then it ends up being costing more. So part of my job was basically pricing this, and then learning how much we need to pay the contractors who are taking it out, how much the equipment costs, and how much what is the plan. Also a lot of other stuff that I did is safety walks. I went on a lot of daily safety walks and got to learn what are the hazards that are on the construction sites, and how to look for them, how to spot a hazard when you see one. And then another one was mainly learning about the different phases if you're trying to build something. So basically you have to plan to go from step A to step B, and then you have to make sure that everything's on time. So basically if you mess up, for example, if you're trying to make a pour, and then you pour concrete or to make a slab, and then you basically mess up the first step, and then you have an appointment for the concrete truck to come, it's not gonna happen, because basically it's all about time management and basically just doing one step at a time. I also learned about I did a lot of organizing in the office. I basically I had a drawer, and I basically all the documents that I did, I would put them in there, and then I did a lot of organizing on the SharePoint for the company, where everyone whenever anyone needed any information from any meeting or any pricing document, anything they can find, they can just easily access it on the website. Well, and then after that, at the same site, I got transferred into I moved to field engineering. position when I got to go out more to the field and actually do some field engineering stuff. And it was actually really cool. I got to actually take measurements out on the field and then bring them back to the office and put it into a plan. I did a work plan for a 1/2 inch and a 2-inch conduit pipe, where we actually put supports on the wall, and then we lay out the conduit on the wall. That was pretty cool to work with some electrical engineers as well. And then I did a lot of ordering materials. A big part of being a field engineer is basically ordering the materials that you need for the job. And then you have to also keep up with the vendors and then make sure that your shipment is going to come in on time. And then after that, when the material comes in, you have to go out to the field and then take pictures and then make sure it's all the right stuff that you need. And then you have to take measurements of it. So that was really a sum up of things that I did as a field engineer. And then after that, I got moved to a different project, which is the current one right now. And it's the CB2 BART extension project. And this is actually really cool because Kiewit is planning to extend BART from Berryessa and San Jose all the way to Santa Clara. And it's right now the project is in design phase, and construction is not planned to begin until next year, around March. So right now what we're doing is a lot of office work, basically reading documents, looking at drawings, and then verifying specs, and also submittals. On the job we have a lot of submittals, and basically what you need to do is make sure everything is lined up, and the submittals are all prepared for when the time comes. And you need information. You're not missing anything. So basically right now is the time to learn everything about the job before the construction starts, so that when it does start, we basically know all the information that we need to know, and we don't miss out on anything later on. So it's been really interesting, learning about the design phase during this project. So now I'm gonna move to the pictures, which is kind of the exciting part. So starting from the left top, that was the project on the wastewater plant, and you can see me in the hard hat, and behind me there's the 96-inch pipe, the one connecting from 2 structures. It was really cool to see it getting built. If you can see it's here, they were putting it together part by part, and then down in the middle you can see them filling up the ground as they were compacting the dirt. And then basically it was underground, and then you can see on the top second picture from the right, you can see us actually walking down in the tunnel, the pipe, and we were basically just grinding each piece, basically grouting them and making sure that they're all sealed and tight. And then we had an inspector come down to look at it. It was pretty cool. Now the picture to the left of that one, the pipe, that's actually a picture from the tower crane, the one that's in the first. And I got to operate that tower crane. It was pretty cool. I got to go up and then operate it and see how it actually worked. It's actually really hard to try to move something from one spot to the other, to target the spots. It was actually pretty cool. Now the picture on the very left top, that's actually pictures of false work. False work is important when you need to build something and you need to make a pour. So a lot of false work is used. And the reason why I put it in here is because I was at the time I was taking the class in college. It was called statics, and this class talks a lot about struts and how to do struts. And it was a lot of math and stuff. But at the time the class was on Zoom. And so it was really cool that at the same time that I was taking this class, I was also able to see false work at the job, and then actually see it in front of me, also do the homework, but then come to work, and then there's false work, and then there's stuff that I'm learning that is here that I'm actually witnessing. And then so on the bottom right, you can see the wastewater project from right to left. There's 3 pictures, and this is actually the project as it progressed. So the first picture, there was nothing there. You can see there was nothing. It was all like already going to start. The picture right in the middle was as they were building it, you can see that we have the tower crane, and then we have like a lot of stuff going on. And then the structures, we have the base for them, but then we don't really have everything. And then you can see on the third picture, you can see like now there's a lot of structures. The tower crane was gone, we took it down, but then you can see that it's already all like built, and like it looks like a lot more built up. And then on the bottom, I have some pictures from some coworkers who I worked with. I've had like a really, really great time, like meeting a lot of people, making connections, and it's been really great. And yeah, it's been like a really fun time. I really appreciate like learning from everyone here.
Wow. That's like so inspiring, Nancy. Thank you for sharing. And it just means a lot to hear you speak, especially seeing like you starting off where a lot of these students are currently. I don't know if you have time or we have time built into this, but would you be able to share a little bit just about like what your experience was like transitioning from being a STEM core student where you were like working like in the OMG program, like working towards calculus readiness? I think a lot of students on this call are sort of like, like, am I ready for an internship? Like, can I do all of these cool things that Nancy's talking about? Because I remember specifically like interviewing you a few years ago, and you had a lot of those same questions. So can you like share a little bit of that experience?
Of course. So at the time when I was in the STEM core, like OMG program, I was working at Amazon, and my professor was like, there's an internship with Kiewit. Are you interested? And I was like, I don't know. I guess I could try. I mean, I didn't really know I was gonna get it, but all I did was just send an email, and then I got an interview. And then as soon as I got the interview, I got accepted. And basically, like it's been great. Like it's been, and then mostly like after I started working with Kiewit, Kiewit has been like really good with helping me with school. Like when I have an exam, I can just tell my boss I have an exam today. Can I maybe take some more time off to study? And then they were always like helpful. They were always like able to incorporate that. Like I can manage my time easily working at Kiewit because they help me out when I have to do exams and finals. Like for example, like next week I have finals and I'm gonna take some days off, and that's working out for me. But yeah, I was in the same position as everyone is here. I was taking those calculus classes, and it was really great, like to actually be able to get this internship. I don't know. I hope I answered that enough.
I appreciate it. To clarify, you started off as a summer intern, right?
Yes, it was in the summer, and then I actually wanted to stay. So I asked them if I can stay for the winter, and then they were like, yes, but it was a part-time. So it went from full-time in the summer to part-time in the winter with school.
So everybody just be aware that if you do like a great job, like not that it's guaranteed, but experience like this like are potentially available, that like a summer internship can end up being like a part-time job like while you're in school, and hopefully like a career afterwards. So thanks so much, Nancy, for sharing. I see a couple of questions that came up in the chat. Tessa, probably more directed to you, just in terms of like specifics for students and their majors, just like how they could fit in within Kiewit. A question came up saying, what will the work consist of for someone who wants to major in electrical or architectural engineering? And then another question around bioengineering. So I think people are trying to see like where they could fit in within Kiewit.
Yeah, good question. So the way that talking about the field engineering role specifically, the way that this role is organized and our projects are organized is there's 4 different disciplines. So we have civil, electrical, structures, and mechanical. So for an electrical engineer, that is kind of an easy fit, right? An electrical engineer, we have an electrical discipline. And so they would probably have the opportunity to start out as an electrical, either an electrical estimator or an electrical field engineer, and really hone in on that specific discipline and be one part. All of the disciplines come together on the project, but they'd have the opportunity to hone into that electrical side of it, of the project, and the electrical takeoffs and things like that. For the way that Kiewit operates is we do like to move our people around different disciplines. You'll hear the word well-rounded. We really want to create and foster well-rounded engineers who maybe have their formal education in electrical engineering, but have the opportunity to experience the civil discipline or the mechanical, and kind of take all of that together, all of that knowledge together. So it's not unusual for a mechanical engineer to come in and maybe land on the civil team. And it's not unusual for an electrical engineer to start out in electrical, but maybe have the opportunity down the line to learn a little bit more about structures. So that definitely happens. We really do want to expose our engineers to as much as we possibly can. That kind of that's the same, I would say the same for the bioengineering, architectural engineering. We look for people who have that engineering background, and then we're super excited to kind of teach them the Kiewit way and our tools and resources and methodology around how we do things. That's not to say that you can't, hone in on a specific skill and also be a subject matter expert if you have that background, and really help out. Nancy, I'm sure you can speak to this a little bit, but the disciplines are very interconnected. So you will be exposed to other elements of it, while your main day-to-day tasks might only surround one. You do work together as a team, you lean on each other as resources. So if that was something that you were looking to dive into a little bit more, kind of become that subject matter expert in, there's definitely room for that as well. We also have a variety of different types of work, right? So Nancy's with our Northern California district. But if we have, let's say, an engineer who is super fascinated by the geotech world, we have an underground district, we have our Kiewit Foundations group, and they solely do underground and tunnels and foundational work. And so there's opportunities all over the place. Nancy's experience is one of many. None of these paths look the same, which is kind of what's so exciting about it, but you do get to experience all of them. So long-winded answer, but hopefully I answered the question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Freddie's asking if there are opportunities within cybersecurity at Kiewit.
Yeah, so we do have our Kiewit technology group. So just like myself, I'm in HR, we have our Kiewit technology group, we have business, we have, excuse me, we have a lot of different support roles that support the field operations. So there's a full Kiewit technology group, which is a district in itself. And so there's plenty of opportunities.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then another question came up about where exactly, and Tessa, we were just talking about this before the call. In what states do you have internships available for the summer? Are there opportunities in Colorado or New Mexico?
Yes. Short answer is everywhere, yes and yes. So we really have internships all over the place. We have projects. I think we've had a project at this point at all 50 states we've done work. So the way that our districts are organized, we have our central district, which is headquartered. They're based out of Colorado. So they have plenty of opportunities in the Colorado area. We have a really big presence in Denver. And then we do have, I believe we do have some work in the New Mexico area. Our Southwest district has some work in like Nevada, Utah area. So we definitely have opportunities in, I would say, almost any state that you might be looking at.
Great. So hopefully all of our students are hearing that. It seems that Kiewit is super flexible and there's space depending on, or even considering your major, where you're located on your STEM core campus, where you'll be for the summer, tons of opportunities. So I'm just going to remind you, I think I see a lot of familiar names on this call who have already submitted to our STEM core internship application. but I'm putting the link in the chat again. You've probably seen this a bunch of times already from your student support specialist and from me, but if you haven't submitted an application, you definitely want to put to get that in, because that's how you get access through the STEM Core program to opportunities like Kiewit, because we will be working directly with partners like Tessa and other opportunities to be able to place you into internship placement. So the link is in the chat, so make sure you check that out and submit your application.
Any other questions at this point, Cheryl?
Those are all the questions that came up so far.
Cool.
Thanks. I kind of hijacked in the middle of the presentation.
All good, all good. All right, perfect. Well, great questions. All right. Like this is actually a great segue because it kind of just touched on this, but we have a ton of different roles. So maybe field engineering isn't your thing. That is totally fine. We've got design engineering opportunities, safety supervisors, quality, procurement, equipment, business specialists, HR, technology, all of those different things. So on our careers page, it gives a really good insight as to exactly what we're looking for and maybe where those positions are located. But we really do have a lot of opportunities right now. So just keep this in mind too. I know we've hit the field engineering pretty hard, but there are a lot of other opportunities outside of that. If maybe that's not up your alley at this time, that's totally fine. All right, we're gonna dive into life at Kiewit. So there are three words that are kind of like the Kiewit buzzwords that you will hear a lot, and that is safety, quality, and environment. The environment, I should say. Safety is at the forefront of everything we do. It's not an expectation at Kiewit, it is a mindset. It is woven into the fabric of who we are. It's really, really important to us. Nothing is more important than the safety of the men and the women on our project sites. We know that construction can be a dangerous business. And so we want to take every precaution and really be as safe as possible, and eliminate, as much risk as we possibly can. It's really, really, really important to us. We empower employees to be engaged and take an active role in creating a safe workplace. So it's on the responsibility of everybody out on the field, in the office, our managers, our interns, it's on everyone. So it's a culture that we have cultivated, one that we're really proud of, and we really hold safety in the highest regard. Next is quality. So right the first time is a phrase that you might hear often here around Kiewit. We want to do what's right the first time, and we want to do what's right especially when nobody is watching. We do have a formal quality program designed to meet those contractual requirements of the different projects that we take on. We want to exceed our clients' expectations. Like I said, we hold ourselves to a really high standard. And so we want to build that work right the first time. We want to eliminate rework. We want to use continuous quality improvement, and to take our performance to the next level, take what we learned from one project and apply it to the next. Our whole business is built on trust with our clients, trust with our managers, trust in our teams and our projects. And so it's really important to us that we have and maintain our reputation, and that we have that trust with the people that we're working with day in and day out. And last but not least, we have the environment. What we do matters. We know that it makes a difference. Our employees realize that they have a responsibility to build our work like the corporate citizens that we are. Like I said, we're building up our own backyards a lot of the time. And so we do that with the highest regard to environmental compliance. We build our backyards just as much as we build yours. So it's something that we hold at a high regard and with a lot of responsibility. It's not just how we build, it's what we build. So we're committed to an environmentally conscious future. And then down here, you'll see our core values. So it's often referred to as PIES: people, integrity, excellence, and stewardship. It's really, really important to us. Each of those is woven into those three big heavy hitters that I named: safety, quality, and the environment. So this is a good snapshot of who we are. And at Kiewit, there's that buzzword again, opportunities. So at Kiewit, we are really have the mindset of a total rewards philosophy and a total rewards package. We want to give and provide a lot more than just a paycheck. So in addition to a competitive salary, we do offer lots of opportunities. We offer industry leading benefits as well. So total rewards that focus on your long-term future and your short-term future. It's important to us that our employees have access to both. So we, in terms of, career and building up our employees' careers, we work on meaningful projects. Few contractors can build what builds and have the opportunities to work on projects that we do. We know that our work matters, and so it's really important to us. We hire the best. We have that family mentality. We want our employees to have that mentality as well. It's important to us that our employees feel supported, that they feel that team environment, that they each come and bring to the table that common drive to succeed and excel. We have the opportunity and ability to move our employees around and travel and really view this job as an adventure. And so we don't want you to settle. We don't want you to feel like you're stuck in one place if you don't want to be in that one place. So there's lots of chances to explore different parts of the country, different parts of the US, different parts of Canada, and we have some work down in Mexico now too. So you can make your career what you want it to be here at Kiewit, and we will support you along the way. There are a lot of career development, training, and mentoring opportunities. Like I said, we do have our Kiewit University. We have a lot of on-the-job training, kind of that learn by doing mentality. And we have formal mentorship programs in place as well. One piece of advice that I would love to give as well is, whether it's at Kiewit or somewhere else, ask for a mentor. Don't wait for somebody to raise their hand and step up and be your mentor. Yes, we have formal mentorship programs, but no matter where you land, definitely pick somebody and make them be your mentor and learn the most that you possibly can from them while you're doing so. We do have formal feedback programs in place. So we have our right time feedback so that our employees are getting feedback, continuous feedback along the way, especially at pivotal points in their career where they might be making a transition or taking on maybe employees under them. So we do have feedback every step of the way. It's something that's important to us that our employees, are knowing when they're doing something right and knowing where there's room for improvement as well. On the benefit side, we do have top quality and industry leading medical, dental, vision insurance. It's a really comprehensive medical plan at a super affordable cost. We've got generic and brand options in terms of prescriptions, both retail and mail order options. We have pre-tax healthcare spending accounts. We've got our wellness program in place. We've got our Under the Hat initiative, and we have a really good PTO. Our PTO is flexible. We give employees the opportunity to use it for whatever they may need, whether that's sick days, doctor's appointments, volunteering, maybe a personal day. Whatever you need the PTO to be for is entirely up to the employee, which is really cool. And then we also have tuition reimbursement. So we can reimburse up to $5,250 per year in outside tuition costs through our employee reimbursement policies. So that's something that's really beneficial to our employees as well. On the financial side, we do have a retirement plan. So our employees are offered a 401k. We do have a 6% match. And then on top of that 6%, depending on how the company does that year based on performance, there might be an additional 0 to 4% added on top of that 6. So it's a really lucrative 401k plan and something that is a really positive benefit to our employees. And then last but not least, our employee ownership. The fact that Kiewit is employee owned is a really big part of who we are. It's really ingrained in our culture, and it's something that you'll really see in the mindset of our leaders and managers. They've got some skin in the game because a lot of them are stockholders as well. And so we encourage our employees, even at the youngest level, to think like an owner. Think like you are an owner of this company, because that's exactly what our managers are doing, our leaders. And it's really, it's a huge part of our culture. So we do have that employee ownership plan in place as well.
Tessa, before you move on from the benefits, I had a couple students message me on the side asking, one, do these benefits, I'm assuming that they apply to employees versus interns. Can you clarify?
Good question. So yes, majority are for our full-time employees. Interns do have the opportunity to enroll in our 401k plan if they would like to. They also have the option to opt out of it. So that's entirely up to them, but they are offered to participate in the 401k plan. In terms of the medical benefits and everything on that line, that is for our full-time employees. Our intention with each intern is to hopefully get them to be a full-time employee. So not necessarily on the internship offer itself, but definitely, opportunity down the line if that conversion does happen.
One follow-up to that is you had noted like relocation.
Mm-hmm.
So for our students who are in another state and they're really in a group who might be across the country, is that an opportunity for interns that Kiewit could help with relocation for a summer internship?
Yes, great question. So most of our districts do have and provide corporate housing. So for our interns, when they receive an assignment, if that assignment is more than 50 miles from what we call your origin address, which is basically, you can think of it as the location that you would be leaving from to go to your internship. So whether that's school or home, if your assignment location is more than 50 miles away from that origin address, you would qualify for corporate housing. So we have a full move services team here at Kiewit with Kiewit employees who their day in and day out job is to assist interns and full-time employees with their move and making sure that it's as seamless as possible. So they take on all of the behind the scenes work of locating that corporate housing apartment, getting it all set up. It is a fully furnished apartment. And then they are also a point of contact to our interns throughout the process to make sure that everything is going off without a hitch and everything is working out well, and then can kind of get them the documents that they need to get their foot in the door in the apartment. So we have all of those benefits, those relocation benefits are available to our interns.
So as long as a student, for instance, if they were in California and they were really interested in a project with a group that was in New Mexico, they could still be considered for that placement. And if they got the position, be assisted with relocation.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it for now. Good questions, everybody.
Yeah, great questions. All right. Oh, I think I went too far. Okay. And I know, hopefully, I feel like I've hit on this pretty well, and hopefully it's one of the central themes that you'll take away with you guys today. But we don't just build things. We spend a lot of time building things, but it's not the only thing that we do here at Kiewit. We are looking to improve the lives and the communities of the places that we work. Yes, by building things and by building up those communities, but also getting involved in the communities. So we do provide funds to support local charities. We've been involved in a lot of causes that relate to education. We've had the opportunity to go teach at elementary schools and get involved in STEM clubs and STEAM clubs. And we have really gotten to be involved in our communities around the holidays. Like right now, we're doing local toy drives. We just did a canned food drive for Thanksgiving. And so it's really important to us that we do that and that we're a positive influence in the communities that we're in. On this slide right here, you can see a couple of different activities. That's everything from Canada to California to Kansas City. We have some really cool opportunities for our employees to get involved in the communities that they work in. It's also not just our employees. We want their families to be involved in it too. We talk about this family mentality that Kiewit has, and we've talked about how we view each other as family members, and we feel that, with each other. But we also know that each employee has family outside of their Kiewit family too, and so we want to bring their family back at home into the fold and into the Kiewit family. So we definitely have opportunities for friends, family, kids, things, everybody that kind of shares that common bond of having a Kiewit employee in their family, and build those relationships up as well. And one of the things that we are really taking a really big swing at right now, and that's really, really important to us, is making sure that every perspective, every voice is heard, everybody feels like they have a seat at the table. So we have a couple of different initiatives that I do want to highlight today, just kind of how Kiewit is working to foster that diverse and inclusive culture and environment for each and every employee. We really do work to build strong relationships and partnerships with universities, local nonprofits, and major organizations across the US and North America, to promote careers and development in our industry, similar to what we're doing here today. We've gotten to be involved in a lot of different clubs, everything from SHIP to NSBE to SWE. We have our own Women in Kiewit initiative that we are really, really proud of, and really is focused on attracting, developing, and retaining women who are passionate about the construction and engineering industry. It's really important to us that our women feel valued and they feel supported. This will come as no surprise that construction and engineering is a male-dominated industry, and so we also really enjoy bringing some of the male leaders that we have, in addition with the female leaders that we have, to help kind of bridge the gap and really make women feel empowered, and like they have the potential for leadership in this company too, because they 100% do. So that's one of the big ones that we are really, really working on and super, super proud of. And like I kind of hinted at a couple on the benefits side, actually, we are an employee-owned organization, so business is a little bit personal to us. Becoming an employee owner is a really huge honor. It's based on personal performance. Our employees are offered to become owners of the company, but it's really a huge part of our culture. It explains, why we are the way we are, why we think the way that we do, and why we get the job done as well as we do. And so employees are rewarded for making that positive impression and making an impact on the bottom line by eventually and hopefully becoming an employer in our company as well. It's something that we view as a privilege, and it's a huge responsibility, but they are, making a huge impact on our landscape here at Kiewit and what we do. So it's something that we're really proud of. And then these are just a couple of, accolades and awards that we're super proud of. For 12 straight years, Employee Surveys and the Great Place to Work Culture Audit has ranked Kiewit as one of Canada's best workplaces based on 5 trust building dimensions. We have been ranked in the ENR National Contractor rankings, in a couple of different markets. And so we're really proud of this. I don't want to brag on us too much, but we are really proud of the work that we've done and all that we've been able to accomplish since way back in 1884. So I think the big question probably is what's next? And we can absolutely, Cheryl and I will talk about the systems that we want to have in place. But just so you guys do know, if you do want to learn more, we do have our kiewit.com. It has so many awesome resources on there. So if you are interested maybe in an internship in Colorado, it'll give you a little bit of information as to what work they even do out there in Colorado. And so just encourage you to kind of dig in and see what you guys can find. And I'm sure, if nothing else, I'm sure you've hopefully taken from this presentation that we have lots of different avenues for you to go down, whether that's dependent on location or the type of work that we do. So I just encourage you to dig in and learn a little bit more about what aligns best with what you're potentially looking for. And then Cheryl and I will get together about, how that aligns on our side as well. So with all of that being said, I just want to give you guys a huge thank you. That is everything that I had for you guys, but any last minute questions? And if not, Cheryl, I'll send it over to you.
That was great. Wow. Thank you so much, Tessa and Nancy, for such an informative hour, such great information, and I think clarifying and answering a lot of questions for our students. So first step for our STEM core students, as I had noted, if you are interested in any type of opportunity with Kiewit, you do need to submit to the STEM core internship application, which is currently open. I put the link in the chat. If you're unsure or need help, be sure to reach out to me directly or to your campus support specialist for more details for how you can get tapped into the application into the network. This session today was recorded, so I'll be sending out the recording to all of our attendees today and to your support specialists so that you can reference the presentation after today. All right, so thanks again, everybody, for attending. Have a great weekend, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.